All right, so the Lord had given me a vision a while ago, and I've been putting it off, making a video about it, and I'm gonna do it now. So the Lord gave me a vision of a flat road, and He's like, "Where it's like where that flat road, right? He creates this smooth road, but life happens, and turbulence happens, and potholes become a part of this road, right? And in my situation, one of the potholes was my father leaving me. Well, when you have a pothole, it caused like it can't be that road can't be driven any. I mean, it can't be driven, but like it's damage that anybody drives over that road, there's damage, right? And so sorry, I'm in my car and I don't know if you can hear me. Um and so the pothole that my father not being a part of my life leaves is abandonment and rejection. So I grow up not realizing that I'm looking for validation in everything I do, trying to be perfect, trying to serve others so that I feel accepted, so that I feel loved. And then, fast forward to when I get with my husband, I settle for what he gives me instead of seeking out God to make sure that this is the love that he has for me. And what all those other people were partly doing, the validation and the serving to get loved and all that stuff, they were filling the pothole. And then my husband, and then eventually my children as well, they fill the pothole with love. But what I learned is, at least with my husband, and sometimes with my children too, you serve your children, wanting them to love you, and it should never be that. Like you shouldn't be serving your children either in that aspect. But anyways, with my husband, he filled it with a love, but it wasn't a godly love, it wasn't a pure love, it wasn't a self-sacrificing love. It was just something that I felt like was enough. So he filled up the hole. And so my desire for acceptance and validation and fear of abandonment, it was still there. Like I still was worried all the time that he would leave me, and I held on so tightly to him. But some aspects weren't as strong as before when I was, younger and looking for essentially my father to, fill that hole up. So then fast forward, when my world explodes and realize that, this is not love, this is not what God has for me, and that is taking out my life. Okay, now God is like, okay, now I need to dig up everything that's in that hole because you stuffed it, or you let other people stuff it with stuff that isn't supposed to be there. So now, in order for me to truly heal you, I have to dig up that hole and put it and put the right stuff in as God your father, as your creator. Only I can do, right? So now I'm in this position like, yeah, sure, God, do whatever you got to do, to make me fully healed and whole. And I see the truth now, blah, blah, blah. The only thing is, I haven't felt a lot of these feelings for a long time because even though my husband wasn't loving me the way that God had intended to, he still loved me in some kind of way that was enough for me, for the broken me, for the surviving me, for the, the one that's just dying for attention. So I felt satisfied with what I had. I didn't feel that abandonment. Well, now that the Lord is digging stuff up and revealing things to me, now I feel that abandonment again. Now I feel attachment again. And I feel, overwhelmed sometimes with feelings just from somebody being nice to me or kind to me and stuff like that. And the Lord is like, listen, you gotta be careful. You gotta tread lightly because you're back in this very vulnerable space. And if you let somebody else in that isn't supposed to be there, you're gonna just be starting the cycle all over again. I need you to slow down, pay attention, listen to me, and detach yourself from people if you have to in order to take the time to get the healing you truly need. And the Lord also revealed to me that that can also be like through serving at church, through doing anything your kids want you to do just because you want. Like it's not just an emotional or sensual or intimacy kind of thing with like a significant other or something like that. It can also be with your children, with your church. It's just the desire to be accepted and approved and wanted and loved. Like I because my father left me, because my mother was always working because she was a single mom, I'd always desired for somebody just to love me as is. And even though I know my mom loved me with all her heart and everything in her, I still did things to earn her love. And that's where I'm at right now, is learning that and letting go of that and trying to just live in the moment, because that's who God created me to be. But like, he's also opening my mind, like, you are in a very, very vulnerable spot, so you need to be careful and you need to know that. And I just feel like this is something important to share, as we are, like, a lot of people I know going through different things and are healing from their past version of themselves or survival version of themselves. Like, you are in a very, very vulnerable space. You're not, you don't no longer have to be this strong, independent person, but you also have to be careful, because the most vulnerable you are, the quicker the devil is trying to be on your back. And sometimes I think we don't realize, because we were stuck with one way for so long, that we don't even know, like, that we are this way now, until we're all like stressing over something that isn't even important. And it's like, who am I? And so I just wanted to give that visual, like, if you're in that position where you're open, where that pothole is wide open and you're waiting for the Lord to fill it, like, be careful. Don't let anybody just roll over that pothole and hurt you. Don't let anybody, put stuff in you that God didn't say is supposed to be in you. So yeah, I try to make this video short, and I don't know how you're supposed to do that. Everybody have a blessed day. Bye.